Okay, last night was an interesting night, and this is becoming an interesting morning. So yesterday it rained. I'm in Mississippi, and I'm trying to get to Panama City in Florida, and it just rained on and off all day. I would take off and ride right back into rain, and finally the storm was moving ahead of me, and I'm just like, I'm kind of running late, right? Like, because I generally move slow. And this is kind of a time schedule because I'm trying to get to the Panama City rally. And so I'm trying to move faster, which is slow by most people's standards. Anyways, it's raining yesterday. And finally, I'm like, I need to try to get under something. And so I pulls off the highway and I'm in this town. And this is the place I took. And you can see we got a church across the street. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. You can see we got a church across the street. Not really nothing over there. The only thing we got is one house here that's occupied. And we got this restaurant next to us, right? But you can also see that I'm in a church. See it there? That's their sign, Christian Fellowship. All right, so let's take a look at my place. By the restaurant. This is it. So I've seen this place, nobody here, and I pulled in. Yesterday was Monday. I figured, well, guess Tuesday, ain't gonna be nobody here for church. So it's raining when I pull in here now, right? This car was not here. When I got here, nobody was here last night. So I bring my bike, put it in here, trying to stay hidden. Not hidden, but out of the way. Okay? And you can see we got a roof. And I put my camp in the back here. And very respectful. I always am. I always am. Very respectful. So I figure, it's a church. I need some shelter. There's a storm. I figured Jesus was born in a barn. It wasn't his barn. Somebody let his mom have a child there, right? And if he was here, he'd probably say, welcome. Take shelter from the storm. Whatever. This was it. I took this spot. So this is what it looks like from my house, okay? There it is. Out that away, got a roof, got my bike under the eave of the church over there.
Pulled up this morning, my wife and I, and there was like a motorcycle at the front door and a tent up on the...
I was trying to hide back here, man. Yeah. Trying to be hidden, yeah. Well, no, I was just trying to stay dry, which I did.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. Hey, this is a roof, and it keeps the rain off of whoever needs to... rain kept off of them, okay?
What's your name?
My name is Norman Muntz.
And he's tall, man.
Yeah. I'm an associate pastor here at Freedom Christian Fellowship in Moss Point, Mississippi. I'm also the director and founder of Convict Prison Ministries, which is an acronym for Chains Off Now, Victory in Christ Today. I'm a product of 32 years in the Mississippi prison system.
Are you really?
Yes.
You must have been a bad guy.
Been out about 10 years now to get in there for sure. And been out about 10 years. The Lord showed up in my cell one day. I was in maximum security in Parchment, and he used a guy that had a sordid past like mine to flip my script and change my life.
I tell you something, Norman. I've known some of the guys that have been the worst criminal minds that have changed through the church.
Yes.
Some of the guys that were the most extreme that I know have changed dramatically through the church.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
I've known quite a few, especially in some of the outlaw bikers I've met.
Right.
At some of the biker ministries, the motorcycle ministries. They come to the rallies. I worked at rallies for many years.
Gotcha.
And some of them, it's like, I got no friend like that. And I told him, I known him since we were young, very young, and I seen him a while back, and I said, Rip, Richard, just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's better than what you were. You know, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I went back.
You sound like you might be one of them.
Yeah. I actually go back. I did 17 years in Parchment and 15 years in Meridian, right? I go back into those same places now and preach the gospel. And I was in there a couple of months ago as an individual that I knew from Parchment, Meridian. We've been knowing each other for about 30 years. He knew me at my worst, and he's getting to know me now. But one day after service, in the prison, he comes walking up to me and he sticks something in my hand and he's crying like a baby. And he says, "Here, take this." I said, "What is that?" He said, "It's a tool," which is a prison term for a shank, right? I said, "I can't take that. You got to give it to somebody else," which he did. Well, come to find out, in his mind, he came up there that day to kill me.
Oh, really?
After the church service, because he thought that he remembered me like I was, right? And now all of a sudden I'm up there preaching Jesus and all this good stuff. In the back of his mind, he thought I was a hypocrite or whatever, and he was going to just kill me, right? And the short of that is that after the service, he comes up there crying and gives me the tool, right?
Ain't that something?
I didn't know he was planning on killing me till after that. But in any event, he told me, he said, my nickname in prison was Zorro. He said, "Zorro," he said, "you ain't playing, are you?" I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Man, you don't even look like the same person anymore." The point I'm trying to make is that Jesus Christ changes lives. Man, he attested to that. He's seen some of the worst.
I have. I really have.
And he's got a way of doing that. I want to just share this a little bit of it because I think it'll help somebody to understand how the Lord can take anybody and use that person to help anybody. That's what he's in the business of doing. This guy stood in front of my cell one day and he said, "Hey, my name's Frank Sherry." He said, I killed 2 people with a hammer. I did double life sentence in Illinois, right? He was on hallucinogenic drugs. He thought aliens was trying to take over the world and they was embodying human beings to do it, and he was going to put an end to it. Killed 2 elderly gentlemen who were coming out of a drugstore in Illinois. One of those men, his widow, keep in mind that this man killed this man, that his widow took her dead husband's Bible to the jail where Frank was, said, "I got to see Frank Sherry." They let her back there. She plopped her husband's Bible in his tray hole and said, "Frank, if you don't become a preacher, my husband's death won't amount to a hill of beans." The Lord used that to change his life. He went on to have an international prison ministry, and he's the guy that the Lord used to stand in front of my cell one day and talk to me about Jesus.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. You guys brung me these bags, told me to take anything in here that I want. But I'm not the homeless guy, but I will take the tuna. What else we got here? Pear slices. I'll take those. And a lot of times Christians, you know, they're looking for somebody to help, to do what Jesus did. But I'm not the guy that needs all this stuff. You know what I mean? But those canned goods will make it good for a dry camp. You know. Because now and then, at night when I go out to camp, it's always a good idea to have some food to eat. Or once in a while I stop early because I'm like, "Oh, I like this place, I want to stay here." So I always tend to have something in the bike to eat. Something that's either canned or ramen with tuna. That's one I do. You can make ramen with cold water. People are like, "You make that with cold water?" I'm like, you put noodles in water, they're going to get soggy. You just got to wait 10 minutes instead of 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. What do you got in there?
Shaving cream, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, bowls and spoons, a tablet for you to write your thoughts on.
I got one already.
Okay. You need any of this?
I'm probably okay. You should probably need to give that to somebody who really does need it. You know what I mean?
You want the canned stuff?
Well, not the SpaghettiOs. I never did like them things.
You need water?
I got water.
Okay.
Just whatever Scotty don't want, put in that bag.
You need any of this?
I don't know. I looked in there, but I think you need to take that to people that really do need it. What I needed was shelter.
I got you.
Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you need to.
I'm gonna stay here until I go to your house and have breakfast, it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
Get a shower I can use when I can smell myself, though it's time.
Babe, leave that there and just get that.
We'll go on in, see what happens here. You raced motorcycles?
Yeah. I was the first female in Hub City in Hattiesburg. It's already done. I just gotta pull them out. I used to race cars and motorcycles.
Right person.
Well, you need a van and a motorcycle then.
Yeah. I can count them on the
Yeah,
ground.
we can get some
He
butter
can't.
on it before they start creeping.
Yeah, that
Mind
pants
if I
off.
touch them?
No, thank you. No, I am not worried about germs at all. I just came out of Mexico. So, you can sleep on the ground, but he can't.
No, he can't.
I can, but I don't want to, right? I think I saw myself kind of on the ground on a concrete slab with a piece of bread to sleep on for years for a mattress, but
It's fun. I love it. I can live that way all the time. I did for a long time. Me and my kids traveled and camped out on the river banks. So, it's good.
you probably noticed them sausage got a little different taste to them. They're maple syrup sausage.
I haven't tried them yet. I gotta try that. Now that little event took place this year on the ride out of Mexico and then across Louisiana and obviously into Mississippi. And I would like to do a lot more. I had a lot more material on what happened down in Mexico. I especially wanted to do that one with the ride across Mexico with Bernardo. My favorite of the stories is the traveling stories, my personal favorites. And I was really looking forward to doing that, but here's the deal, is I had a 5 terabyte hard drive and I had about 4 terabytes on it and the thing went bad. And all that material was on there. I didn't have it backed up, right? The hard drive that I was backing it up to filled up, and then all the more recent stuff was on the one that went bad. And so I took it to a little shop, Mickey Mouse shop, and they did what they could, but they couldn't get nothing off it. And if you go to a big professional shop, then they can run up into thousands of dollars trying to retrieve the data recovery from it. And so I lost a whole lot of great material I wanted to make. So if anybody out there has any ideas or knows anything about how to try to get that data off of there, you know, without spending like $3,000, let me know, please. And in the meantime, I'll keep making some stuff, but I lost a whole lot of really great stuff that I wanted to make. So a lot of people really love the Mexico videos. A lot of guys tell me that. Anyways, with that, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the little church thing. Those church people are so